Welcome to Cloudy Knit Crochet. My name is Lori, and I would love to crochet up a storm with you. If you would like to crochet along with me, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and give this video a thumbs up. And I would love to hear from you, so leave a comment below. Thank you. After watching the introduction, can you guess what this episode is going to be about? Yep, that's right, puppies and dogs. And the reason is I got a grandpuppy. My daughter's family adopted this cute little terrier mix at the animal shelter last week. And so this is my very first grandpuppy. Isn't he cute? And his name is Kopi. So of course, since this is my very first grandpuppy, I'm going to have to crochet a dog blanket. So we're going to talk about that and sewing up dog beds that you could donate to your local animal shelter. So let's take a walk into my craft room, sewing room, and this room is called Nana's Nook. And right here on my chair, I just finished sewing pieces of batting to make dog beds. So our local animal shelter notified our quilt guild that they were getting low on dog beds to keep the dogs and cats warm. So I got all my pieces sewn together for different sizes. And then right over here, let me show you the process. This is really quick and easy to show you what I'm doing. I'm not really doing a tutorial, kind of just giving you a heads up. So what I do is I take 2 pieces of fabric and I put them right sides together. And then on top of that, I lay a piece of batting. And then I take my rotary cutter and my rulers and I'll trim all the edges around and make it roll square. And then I come over here to my sewing machine. And the first thing I do, see those 2 little clips right there? I'm going to sew all the way around the edges, but I'm going to leave an opening so I could turn it inside out. So after I get it all sewn together, as you can see here, you can see that opening where I didn't sew. Now that's where I'm going to turn it inside out. Here's what it looks like after you turn it inside out. Now that piece of batting is in between those 2 fabrics. And right there where the clips are, that's where the opening is, where I turned it inside out. And so from here is where I do the quilting on top of it. Before I show you the finished dog bed that I made, I thought I'd have you take a look at the quilt that I made. I really had fun making this quilt. And here is the dog bed all done. And all I did was sew right on top and then all around the edges. So I did dog beds for a total of 2 days, and this is my beginning stack of dog beds right here. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see how many I made. And since this video is all about me having my very first grandpuppy, I had to make him a dog bed too. And I found some really nice fleece material with baseballs on it. The pattern that I'm using to make my dog blanket, I found online on Yarnspiration's website, and I'll leave that link in the description box below. And it is a free pattern. Now, the size hook I used was a size H. So let me tell you what kind of yarn I'm using to make my dog-like blanket. I'm using one of my favorite yarns that I like to use, which I could find at Joann's Fabrics, and it's the Big Twist Value. And each skein is 380 yards, and I'm using 2 colors, soft gray and taupe. So in the next part, I'll show you the stitch to make this pattern. So let me show you the stitch that's in this pattern. And the repeat is just a double crochet, single crochet, and you keep alternating those 2 stitches across. So right now I'm in the middle of a row. So with one thing I know is really important is that you're able to read your stitches. So in that previous row right here, that's a double crochet and that's a single crochet. So you look at the previous row, and if it's a double, you're going to put a single on top. And then on the top of the single crochet, you put a double. And then you just keep alternating those two stitches together. And you can see how it crochets up nice and tight, and there's no gaps in the stitches. And they say that's, I looked at other patterns and they were saying if you're going to crochet up a dog bed, to make sure it's not real holy for their claws to get caught in there. So that was one of the reasons why I picked this pattern. So let me go ahead and I'll just keep crocheting till I get to the end. And I was so excited that my daughter's family got a dog. They called us and said that they had an appointment at the animal shelter the next day to go look at puppies. And I guess a litter of puppies came in of a little terrier mix. And that's the kind of dog I have. I have a terrier mix, and they really like my dog. My dog's name is Coco, and she's invited to go over to their house anytime. So every time I go over there to visit, Coco's always allowed to come in and play and hang out. And so I was so excited thinking that I was going to be getting my very first grand puppy. And so they went to the vet, and they met a couple little puppies there, and when they found this one, a little boy puppy, they just fell in love with him and brought him home that day. So we're not going to be able to introduce my dog to their dog yet. This little puppy is 2 months old, so you have to wait, a couple months for them to get all their shots. When you bring a puppy home, you got to be really cautious of them. You don't want them to get that one disease called parvo. My husband helped me with saying that name. So my dog won't be able to meet the new dog for a couple more months, but I'm really excited when they get to meet each other. It's really hard to be crocheting along, trying to follow the pattern as I'm talking with you. So if you notice my crocheting isn't as smooth or fast, it's because I'm overthinking everything, because I have to look through my phone to make sure that you guys could see me crocheting as I'm talking. So there's definitely an art of making videos and getting really comfortable with talking out loud when there's no one there. Well, you guys are there, but I can't actually see you. So anyway, I got to the end of the row here. And now let me show you a trick. If you have two different colors, and if you're putting on 2 rows of the same color before you switch, here's a trick so you don't have to cut your yarn and then weave in the silly spaghetti ends. Okay, so you're gonna keep your 2 skeins right there with you of the 2 different colors, but you're not gonna cut it. You're just gonna leave it hanging out here until you come back around. So I did 2 rows of the gray. So, okay, let me rip out that last double crochet right there. So in your last stitch, you're just gonna do it halfway. And then you're gonna pick up your next color, go ahead and finish off that, the gray, okay? And now you pick up your next color right here, chain 1, and then turn your work. And then the gray yarn, you'll just set it aside. Now you're gonna have yarn going everywhere, but you could spend just a couple seconds trying to get everything untangled so it doesn't create too big of a mess as you're crocheting back down. And then you just start up with your next color. So I'm going to read my stitches here. So the last stitch I did was a double. So I'm going to go ahead and put a single crochet in there. And then there's the single. So I put a double. And then you just keep repeating single crochet, double crochet all the way across. And you'll do this color for 2 rows. And when you come back on that second row, you'll be able to pick up that gray color again. So that's how you do this stitch. It's very easy to do, and after you do it a while, you'll get into the rhythm of going double, single, double, single. At first, it just takes a little. Maybe after you do 1 or 2 rows, you'll have that pattern down to where you don't have to really think double, single. It'll just happen automatically. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Did you make your guess how many dog beds I could make in 2 days? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see what your guesses are. I made a total of 16 dog beds. 15 will get donated to my local animal shelter, and 1 will be going to my grand puppy. If you have a dog or a kitty at home, give them a big hug from me today. Bye for now until we meet again.